right, friends, today we're going to read from a book called Vanishing from Forests and Jungles by Gail Radley. The illustrations are by Jean Sherlock, okay? And we won't be reading everything in this book, but if you'd like, you can ask Mom or Dad to help you go on to the Full at Destiny and into the Lightbox series, and you can find this story there. Okay, so first let's look at the introduction. What would you do if every last giant panda on Earth was dying? You'd probably try to save it. Animals are dying out more often than you think. Scientists believe that about 50 species or kinds of animals die out each day. Wow, 50 types of animals every day? That's a lot. What's going on? So this book will talk about different types of animals, 10 of them, that are experiencing what's called extinction. Extinction means there's not very many of them left on Earth, and if we don't do something to help protect them, they will all die out and there will be no more of that type of animal on Earth. Okay? So we're gonna go and read about some of them. This is the giant panda, okay? And the giant panda is endangered. And let's see why it's endangered. Giant pandas look like teddy bears. They are furry and black and white. Their natural habitat is the bamboo forests of western and southwestern China. Giant pandas eat mainly bamboo plants, but the bamboo plants are not very nutritious, so giant pandas have to eat a lot of bamboo. They usually eat for more than 10 hours each day. Pandas rely on bamboo forests for food. Without bamboo, the animals cannot survive. Chinese people have cut down much of the bamboo forests. On the cleared land, they have built farms and homes. Another problem is that bamboo plants are slow to reproduce. They only grow seeds once. When the plant is 10 to 100 years old, after a bamboo plant produces seeds, it dies. Only about 1,000 giant pandas still live in the wild. The Chinese government has set aside places called preserves. In the preserves, giant pandas can live safely. That's not very many giant pandas. You know, at our school, at Reagan Elementary, there are more than 1,000. We have about 1,000, almost 1,600 students, which is a lot more than there are giant pandas in the wild. Isn't that sad? Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, the possum. Look at this cute little animal. And the kangaroo that lives in the forest in Tasmania near Australia. Oahu tree snails. Oh, look at, they're clear. Should we read about them? Okay. Oahu tree snails. Status endangered. Oahu tree snails cling to tree branches on the Hawaiian island of Oahu. They also nestle in leaves on the ground. Many snails live their entire lives on one tree. An Oahu tree snail cannot have babies until it is 6 or 7 years old. Then a tree snail has one baby at a time. If snails do not live long enough to have babies, the snail population can fall sharply. More and more often, snails do not live to be 6 years old. Many of the trees on Oahu have been cut down. It's kind of like the bamboo forest in China, huh? Pastures, farms, and homes replace the trees. So there we go again. Humans are cutting down the habitat for animals. Trees from other parts of the world are quick to grow where others have been cut down, but the snail cannot live on those trees. The Oahu tree snail is also threatened by a snail that feeds on other snails. Oh no. The government brought in a snail from Florida to protect Oahu's fields from crop-eating snails, but the Florida snail also eats tree snails. Shell collectors put the snail at risk too. The Oahu tree snail's colorful shell is easy to spot. Away from its habitat, the snail cannot survive for long. Oh, look at its beautiful shell. So people collect their shell, and in that way they kill the snails. Oh, there are many things that we can do to help protect the tree snail, huh? Like, don't collect their shells. And think about where we want to build new farms and new homes. Let's see. Oh, the timber wolf. And there he is again. Who is he? The sloth. The Brazilian three-toed sloth. Do you want to read about him? Okay. Status endangered. The Brazilian three-toed sloth lives life upside down. The sloth's long curved claws allow it to cling to branches. Oh, so it is because of his claws. Sloths eat, sleep, mate, give birth, and care for their babies in trees. Sloths sleep 15 to 18 hours a day. Remember in our other book we read that sometimes they can sleep up to 19 hours. 15 to 18, that's still a lot of hours. Snakes, birds, jaguars, ocelots, and humans all hunt the sloth. Hunters like its flavorful meat. People turn the animal's fur into saddlecloths. They string sloth claws onto necklaces. Because the sloth moves so slowly, its best hope is to blend in with the trees. The greenish algae that grow in the sloth's fur help it hide. The destruction of the Amazon tropical rainforest where the Brazilian three-toed sloth lives puts the creature in great danger. People cut down the trees to make room for farms. Again, people are destroying the animals' habitat, the place where they live. In Brazil, the government has passed laws that ban logging in some areas of the Amazon rainforest, but the sloth remains endangered. At least the government is trying to do something, to protect them. Do you want to read the silly poem by Jack Prelutsky? Okay. The three-toed sloth. The three-toed sloth is in a deep and curious and wakeless sleep. The boughs and branches bend and break, but seldom does the sloth awake. The noisy jungle far below is not for three-toed sloths to know. If you want to learn about the gorilla, you can read this book. Oh, about the fox. You can read about the African elephant in the Sahara Desert of Africa and see why it's threatened. How about the Bengal tiger in the Asian forests, and it's endangered. All right, so if you want to read about those other animals, you can go online and look for the book, Forests and Jungles. Okay?